Those opposed? Hearing none, minutes approved. Into the report, I have none. Mr. Secretary.
Yes, distributed in your packets and posted online were administrative modifications that were completed in September. If you have any questions about those modifications, feel free to reach out to staff. These are usually small changes that we've been approved by the TTAC and the policy board for staff to do. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, James. I'm not aware of any old business. Move into new business. We have amendments within the LaPorte district. Caitlin.
Good morning. This is Caitlin Stevens with MACOG, and we do have a few NDOT initiated amendments to go over today. The first NDOT initiated resolution is 38-20. The first item A is for interchange modifications along the US 20, US 31 bypass, all the way from the Michigan state line to the Fort Wayne district. And those locations you can see on this map and are also included on the agenda. Item B is for sign modernization projects along the similar corridor of the US 20, US 31 bypass from the Michigan state line to the Fort Wayne district. And this is to add in both PE and construction for these projects. Are there any questions?
This is not a question, but I did want to note an exciting item potentially on item B if that project moves forward, is that it could also include exit numbers on the bypass.
That is exciting. If there are no other comments or questions, I would ask for your endorsement of resolution 38-20.
Thank you, Caitlin. Do we have a motion? Pardon me, who motioned?
Skinner, so moved.
Thank you. We have a motion.
Ryan Poe, second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, resolution 38-20, so endorsed. In the Fort Wayne district.
For the Fort Wayne district, we have resolution 39-20, and these projects are all related to preventative maintenance. Item A is for the State Route 120 corridor from rail line to East Bristol to State Route 13. It's for adding in PE for an hot mix asphalt overlay project. Item B is for a hot mix asphalt overlay preventative maintenance project on State Route 13 from East 1400 North to the US 6 West Junction. And then item C is for various locations within the Fort Wayne district. So that includes Elkhart County and Kosciuszko County. It is putting high friction surface treatment at various locations in this district. If there are no questions, I would ask for your endorsement of resolution 39-20.
David Armstrong, so moved.
Brent Warren, second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? Hearing none, resolution 39-20, so endorsed. Thank you, Caitlin. Moving into staff update. Actually, you get to continue us along our way for our state fiscal year 2020 annual listing of obligated projects.
Yes, I have a couple staff updates. The first is for the annual listing of obligated projects. This report is essentially a listing of projects that the government has a legal commitment to provide their federal share within that project. And these projects obligated anywhere from July 1st of 2019 to the following year, June 30th. And so I have just a quick kind of snapshot of some of the findings from this report. Overall, we had the state projects obligated just under $55 million in projects, and then the local public agencies obligated just under 15 million, with transit obligating almost 3 million projects. The county obligation breakdown just refers to local projects that obligated in our region. We had about 14 million in Elkhart and St. Joseph County that obligated, and it's worth mentioning that these two areas fall within our urbanized area, which is why you see kind of a significant portion of that those obligations. And then Kosciuszko and Marshall County obligated just under $1 million. And they are part of the more competitive kind of rural call process that NDOT falls through. Also worth noting that we did have some lettings in St. Joseph and Elkhart County, whereas Kosciuszko County and Marshall County are still developing their projects in the PE and right-of-way phases. And this is just a quick breakdown of the different types of projects that have obligated and their amounts. So local ROD projects make up the greatest percentage of funding with 8.4 million. That's about 56% of the total obligation for fiscal year 20. And some other noteworthy things is bridges made up the most number of projects that fell upon our list. So I would expect to see this number kind of increase as they are developed and move to letting. If you are interested in kind of reading the full report, it is on our website and has a breakdown of each of the individual local projects. And then I have 3 announcements for funding, which is always exciting. The Community Crossings Matching Grant will be closing in about 2.5 weeks, October 23rd. I know that we have been assisting many of you in kind of getting some of your data needs established, but if you still need to reach out to us or would like us to assist in reviewing applications or providing any of that data related to traffic and counts and crash data, please feel free to reach out to Ryan or I. And then also NDOT is holding their rural call for projects for fiscal year 26. This application process opens up November 2nd and will close December 11th. And we are happy to help kind of on the front end, especially of these projects, since we have a little bit of time to collect any information that you might need for those applications. And then lastly, I wanted to mention, hopefully many of you received an email notification yesterday, but our urbanized area call for projects is open currently and will be open through November 2nd. So if you have any questions, it's an online application form. Please reach out to us. We're happy to go over any questions or projects that you might have in mind. The kind of tentative timeline is to start reviewing those applications that we receive in November and December and have announcements of project selection after the new year. And I think with that, those are all the updates I have. Are there any questions related to any of the calls? Great, thanks.
Thank you, Caitlin. Leah.
Good morning, everyone. This is Leah
Good morning.
Thill. I have an update on the work of the Regional Brownfields Coalition. We held our first regional public meetings a couple weeks ago on September 22nd. We had about 30 people in attendance from across the region, which is great to see that virtual format allowed, I think, more broad participation. We've just wrapped up the first full year of our grant period, and so expect next month to see a more detailed breakdown of funding spent by site to be a bit available to you. And then, as always, we continue to accept new sites and sites of interest. So reach out to me if you have any questions, or especially sites impacting small towns, if there are any ideas there. Any questions about the Brownfields Coalition? We also have our standing monthly meeting that happens at 10:30. So if anyone's interested in that, you could always listen into that more detailed update as well. Next slide. I have another grant opportunity to make you aware of. This is the IDEM DieselWise grant. In this case, it is only available for non-road equipment, and so that may apply to some airport equipment, or maybe more in the private sector, excavators, pumps, and things of that nature. The funding level is 25% for diesel replacements, and I believe 40% for zero emission source replacements. The threshold for engine hours has been reduced now down to 500 hours minimum, which is good news for vehicles that did not meet the threshold in last year's round. So if anyone is interested, the deadline is November 25th, but definitely contact me and we can get working right away on an application if you have equipment that may benefit from this opportunity.
Thank you, Leah. James.
Good morning, everyone. James Turnwald here. First, I wanted to say sorry that Ryan DeLine couldn't be here. Ryan is out in the field today with INDOT and local partners doing some road safety audits. I believe this morning they're at State Road 23 in Ironwood, and then later in the day they'll be at State Road 2 in Quince. So we felt like his time was best spent there, so he couldn't join us this morning. But I did want to give you an update on our MPO certification review. The certification review was conducted June 16th and 17th by the Federal Review Team, which consisted of folks from Federal Highway Administration and Federal Transit Administration. For those not familiar, the certification review looks at, it's a process review related to the transportation planning programs and processes related to that. Things like the TIP, the long-range plan, the annual listing of obligated projects, and a whole host of different areas. I know Joyce is also on the line from Federal Highway, so of course, Joyce, if you have anything to add while we talk about this, feel free to jump in. The exciting thing for the certification review was that it was the first virtual certification review in the state of Indiana. We had the pleasure of being able to figure all of that out because of everything going on. Usually this is an opportunity to have an on-site review, but we figured out how to do a virtual review, and appreciated working with the Federal Review Team on that. In general, the certification review went very well. The area is recertified for the next 4 years, so that's a good thing. There were, I think, 10 recommendations, things that Federal Highway said, hey, have you tried this or tried that? And things that we'll want to look at as we update core documents and whatnot. Nothing that was really considered a finding, but just things for continuous improvement. And I believe there were 5 commendations as well, things that the Federal Review Team felt that our area was doing exceptionally well and wanted to provide an additional notation for. That full report is available and we can provide it to you. I know the review team will also be doing a little bit of a presentation during our policy board as well. So if you'd like to find out more, you can tune in next week to hear that presentation. So I wanted to be able to present those results to you, let you know how it went, and kind of go over those results with you. So that is what I have, unless Joyce wanted to add anything as well.
No, you did a very nice job. Thank you so much.
All right, Joyce says I've got it covered. So that is my update. So I'll turn it back over to you, Jessica.
Thank you, James, and congratulations on the recertification or the review for the certification. We have privilege of the floor at this time. Is there anyone that would like to share information with the committee? Hearing none, unless Mr. Turnwall says different. I'm not aware of any public comments that were received that we need to introduce into the meeting minutes.
We double checked right before the meeting started, and we have not received any public comments. So we do not have a public comment today.
Thank you. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Ty Adley.
Tim O'Donnell, second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.